What's going on, Black America? What's going on, America? uh, I normally only make videos about reparations, but I'm here to talk about this Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf case or situation. When I first heard about it, uh, I had a natural idea of what happened. I do want to start this off by saying Karmelo Anthony is innocent. From what I understand, so far from what's been said, Austin Metcalf actually did touch Karmelo. Now, this is why I say Karmelo Anthony is innocent. I see a lot of people talk. I've seen a lot of people talk about the case. But I want to talk about the opposing side, the ones that oppose Karmelo Anthony's innocence, which he's maintaining right now. This is why Karmelo Anthony will be acquitted, or he should be acquitted. Austin Metcalf, we know this was April 2nd, 2025, roughly 3 weeks ago. It started raining. It had to start raining somewhere around 9:20. Somewhere between 9:20, 9:30, or somewhere between 9 to 10 o'clock, whatever. But it started raining, Karmelo go sit under the tent, which is quite natural. Everybody, if people having functions in parks, those parks that be having like the little wood gazebos made, but they don't have they're not covered up, but it has a roof. It has a roof, and normally that's where the people go sit and eat after, after the family member or whatever family member is grilling the food. The people go eat under this wooden gazebo. It's like a little gazebo, but they go sit under there and eat. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. And there's multiple families out there sometimes. If it starts raining, everybody's gonna go to wherever is the quickest safe haven to get away from the rain. And nobody's gonna wonder what family you from. What family are you from? It's a domain place. It's a domain area. So if it start raining, you got the right to run anywhere to shelter from the rain. Austin Metcalf decided, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't have no compassion for him. Austin Metcalf decided this the part that people were leaving out. He walked over to Karmelo Anthony. He walked over to Karmelo Anthony and then said, "You need to get out of this tent." Number one, he's not security. Number two, he's not a teacher. Number three, he's not a adult guider. He's not a guardian of the park, or he's not security. He's not even an adult. He had no legal authority to go walk over to Karmelo. See, that's another factor that matters. He walked over to him, which means Karmelo was already on the other side, isolated, minding his business. That's one reason that makes it self-defense. And then he walked over to him and then proceeded. He singled him out. He singled out a black young child or black young teenager. I'm pretty sure it was more people sitting under that tent. I even want to say to a degree that there were girls or something probably talking to Karmelo. Probably some white girls talking to him. You see, it's so many factors into this. possible factors. What I'm saying now, this could just be a factor. This is not a fact or anything like that. But you gotta understand, I'm 36. I was a black boy. I was a black toddler. I was a black child. I was a black teenager, and I'm a black man now. So I understand probably how Karmelo felt when the niggas walked up to him. But Austin Metcalf probably was motivated. He probably was watching. He probably was literally watching Karmelo for a few minutes before he even walked up to him. And he probably saw that Karmelo had a friend there. It probably was some white girls chit-chatting with him. And in high school, there's not too many ugly girls running around high school like that. Not too many. You got some now. But the pretty girl, probably a couple pretty white girls was probably talking to him. These are the things that stoke white boys and say, fuck that shit. He ain't supposed to be getting attention like that. He definitely ain't supposed to be having no pretty white girls. You know, this could be a situation that probably motivated him to even want him to move. Anytime a black man is getting attention that a white man feel he should be getting, it's gonna always be some type of jealousy or vitriol there, man. Y'all gotta understand this. I've been through that shit before. I used to play sports in high school and shit like that, and I was fairly good. And when I wasn't playing sports, I was trying to be a fly guy. Those days are gone, but I remember my high school experience like it was yesterday. In America, it's always going to be black kids and white kids going to school together, whether it's poor black and white kids or if it's rich black and white kids. They going to school together. Somehow, some way, they going to school together. At this point, there's nothing nobody could do to stop that. But the world is changing, so you'll see a little black boy chilling. You'll see a little black boy chilling, and you might see a white girl talking to him. That's something white men still can't deal with that well. So Austin Metcalf probably seen all this from afar, and he said, fuck that, he ain't even supposed to be over there. I think he got jealous of Karmelo. So he walked over there and said, hey, man, you got to move. And Karmelo, you know, that was 100% Rosa Parks. That was 100% a Rosa Parks situation. But there's only one thing. You know, Karmelo, he went about it like Rosa Parks. I ain't going nowhere. It's only tragic because these are two 17-year-old boys, but I blame white people because their prior actions leads up to moments like this. See, white people expect black people to roll over, just die, not defend ourselves. That's not the case going forward. That shit really stopped at us millennials. We were just trying to figure out a way to convey it. I know how to convey it, but I can't speak for all millennials. But we was trying to figure out how to convey it. Okay, how we gonna show these motherfuckers that ain't the deal? I'm glad that I would have did the same thing in Karmelo Anthony's situation. I'm not gonna knock him for that. So when Austin Metcalf walked up to him and told him to move, Karmelo said, I ain't moving, man. Go on ahead about your business, bro. You know what I mean? Go ahead about your business. So I would imagine Austin Metcalf probably got a little closer. See, I believe that Austin Metcalf, he walked up to him, but I believe at first Austin Metcalf had at least somewhere between 3 to 5 feet between them when he initially asked him the first time. And then Karmelo was like, bro, you tripping. I ain't moving. I ain't going nowhere. It's raining, bro. I ain't going nowhere till it stop raining, probably to something to that degree. And then Austin Metcalf was like, yo, look, bro. You gonna move from up under this tent. And that's when Karmelo was probably like, bro, I ain't moving nowhere, but if you touch me, don't touch me, though. Austin Metcalf proceeded to touch him. But it's something much more intense than that. I believe that he was outnumbered. But whenever Karmelo pulled the blade out, or knife, whatever he had, whatever sharp object he had, we know it was a sharp object. A physical altercation was already in motion. Because to stab somebody, they gotta be fairly close, damn near up on you or touch or on you. Like it has to be something already going on. Closeness. You already close. It's hard to kind of stab somebody in the chest when they 3 to 5 feet away, because that's enough time for them to see it coming and kind of like at least give themselves a chance to not get plunged. That's why when Karmelo got access to his whatever he had, Austin Metcalf was already touching him, basically fighting him or trying to move him, or he was already in motion with physicality. Nobody has the right to tell somebody how to defend their life. Everybody is not everybody doesn't fight well enough to fight somebody off of them. Some people can't fight at all, and their only defense is to grab a chair or grab, you know what I mean? Like I've seen motherfuckers when I was going to high school, middle school. I seen motherfuckers that couldn't fight. Literally, one named Mike Lugo. I seen a motherfucker that couldn't fight, was getting his ass whooped, and he finally was able to pick up a chair and he bust the person in their head and knocked them unconscious and split their head open. But the motherfucker with his head split open is the motherfucker in the wrong. Yeah, he might look like somebody did something aggressive to him, but the motherfucker with the chair couldn't fight. He couldn't fight. He had no chance of getting that person off of him unless so to say that Karmelo should have fought him off, no. Austin Metcalf should have walked over to him, provoke him by saying, hey, you gotta move. Karmelo just told him, hey man, I ain't moving nowhere, just don't touch me. Don't touch me. And this is why I think they say he told him twice. The only reason I think he told him twice is because the first time Metcalf I want to say he was 5 feet, at least 5 feet away when he told him. Because you know how you first walk up on somebody. We've been through this before. And you got something to say to him. You give him space at first. And then it's like, all right, motherfucker, I said. And that's when Karmelo was like, yo, bro, I'm telling you, don't touch me, or you're going to see what happened. That's when Austin Metcalf was like, okay, let's find out. That's when he died. That's when he died. That's when the blade came out, because Austin Metcalf was already jumping on him. And I don't know this for a fact, so I could be wrong, but maybe the brother tried to do something. Maybe the brother was grabbing on Karmelo to kind of give his brother a better chance at him. But to pull the blade out, stick somebody, something has to be, you got to feel, something has to really be wrongly going on. I know Karmelo Anthony is innocent. Me as a black person, I already know how it happened. I already got an idea. Austin Metcalf is dead because of his motherfucking self. The nigga wanted to be a white supremacist colonizer. And the reason why I don't have no compassion for that dead ass nigga is because out of everybody, you wouldn't pick the black boy. You singled out a black boy because what, some girls was talking to him or some shit like that? What would motivate you to go tell somebody to move from up under a tent when it's raining, bro? Karmelo is he an athlete too. The girls talk to the athletes, especially the cheerleaders. Was you jealous? Was Karmelo under there on his phone like this, looking on his phone while the girls was trying to talk to him? Was it too much association amongst Karmelo for you, to where you had to go over there and tell him to move from the tent? Because I can't understand why it matters if somebody's under a tent while it's raining. And then he had a right to be there. On top of that, Austin Metcalf is dead because of his motherfucking self and his white supremacist mindset. You see where it led, you see what it caused him? And I want to say he got that from his mama for the most part. I ain't saying that he ain't get it from his daddy. But it was like, I think his daddy coming to the terms that it was his son's fault. That's why I think he was at their press conference. I don't think he was there to do no ill intentions. I think he was there because he know his son is in the wrong. The brother know his brother in the wrong. The brother that's alive, he know his brother was wrong that day. That's why that shit is hard for him to stomach. I know in the back of his mind, he like, man, I wish we didn't go over there. I wish my brother did not fuck with that boy. Can't tell me he ain't thinking like that. Nigga lost his brother out of stupidity. But I have no compassion for Austin Metcalf. Because out of all people, you went fucking with a black boy. Because you thought he was smaller. You tried to be a white supremacist bully colonizer and you lost your life. Karmelo Anthony is innocent, bro. Because the truth of the matter is, if Austin Metcalf didn't walk over there, and if he ain't put his hands on Karmelo, he'll still be alive. Even after the fact that he walked over there, if he did not put his hands on the man, he will be alive. I ain't gonna let nobody put their hands on me, and I done gave you 2 warnings, bro. I ain't about to knock that young man for defending himself in a fearful situation. If that's the case, I might as well go ahead and let my son die. I got a 12-year-old son. My son dealing with bullying. I just had to homeschool my son. Because he dealing with bullying from white kids. That's the thing. White people gonna have to fucking man up, woman up, and finally hold yourselves accountable for your fucking actions. Or deal with the results. But one thing's for certain, nobody afraid of you. You get that shit out your mind, or you gonna end up like Austin fucking Metcalf. Because he thought, because the motherfucker was smaller than him, and that he was white, and he say so, that bitch dead for that. So why the fuck me as a foundational black American man, why the fuck am I gonna go against my own young child that was minding his fucking business before a white supremacist child that's way too young to be thinking like that? That white kid was way too young to be thinking like that. And it cost him his life. His life got cut at 17 years old. If white people don't learn something from this, then expect the worst. But y'all time is coming to an end, bro. All that crazy shit. Bro, I'm not gonna play with you. I would have did what Karmelo would have did. I would have did what Karmelo done. See, when I see Karmelo, I see a younger me. Cause I would have did the same shit. You bitch ass nigga, you coming up to me talking about who the fuck need to move? Bro, you better get the fuck back, nigga. I'm warning you, nigga. I'ma sit right here. You walked over here, got my motherfucking face talking about I need to move. I'm telling you, back the fuck up. Don't touch me, bro. Ain't nobody finna be modest, compromised. Back the fuck up. Because at the end of the day, motherfucking Karmelo had a mama and siblings to go home to. And that's what I'm saying. Black people got people to go home to too. What the fuck make you niggas think that we just about to just let you motherfuckers come do some shit to us? Y'all gotta be snorting cocaine. Y'all gotta be on crystal. Y'all gotta be on meth, heroin. Y'all on something. But you gonna fuck around and die like that, man. Because black people ain't finna just die. We ain't finna just die for nobody, bro. So our babies and our mamas and shit could be crying. Them days over with, man. Fuck Austin Metcalf. That bitch ass nigga should have kept his ass on the other side, wherever the fuck he was, or he could have came over to the same tent everybody was at and been peaceful. and been peaceful. He didn't even have to do that bullshit he did. And now he dead. 17 years old and he dead, bro. Think about that. You white people, y'all think about that. That's y'all baby that y'all led astray. Y'all led him astray. White people, y'all is the reason Austin Metcalf is dead. Understand that shit. Y'all the reason he dead. And if y'all act like y'all want to get in the streets or do some crazy shit because he dead, some of y'all gonna die. Nobody afraid of y'all, man. Y'all not the only motherfuckers with guns and weapons. And y'all not the only motherfucking group that got motherfuckers that's ready to risk it all. Y'all not. Y'all not. Cut that shit out. Y'all not. Personally, you know what? I ain't even come on here all that shit. Y'all can make it racial if y'all want to. But this shit been racial. Let's not act like it's just all of a sudden popped up. Oh my God, the young black kid wanted to stab the white kid the whole time. Our babies don't even think like that. We don't raise our kids like that. We tell them about this shit so they can be aware, but we don't tell them, hey, kill somebody because they just skin color. We don't play them kind of games, bro. And we not about to pay nobody doing it to us either. Fuck that shit. I'm telling you right now, suck my dick, fuck that shit. We taking chances. We gonna take chances because one thing that's gonna happen, the court system gonna go about us. They gonna go about our self-defense the same way they go about y'all's, and that's a demand. We ain't asking shit. So they gonna give our baby his just due. Because that bitch ass white boy can't fuck with him. He didn't have to fuck with him. But he fucked with him because he was black. He wanted to get some brownie points. He wanted to do something. He wanted to try to bully a black boy in front of some pretty white girls. Let's call it what it is. It was some pretty, you seen the little white girl that did the interview? She was a young pretty little white teenage girl that was on there. She said she knew Karmelo to throw his hands. But they gonna take what that little girl said, cause white people are desperate. They gonna take what that little girl said and make it seem like she said she known Karmelo for always fighting. They twisting her words, and she only a teenager. You see the dirty game they play, but they don't understand. They gonna crash. They gonna crash in the end. You ever see a black man that look anything like me walking around, leave him alone. Fucking tell you right now, you better leave him alone. Because black people don't want no trouble. But guess what? We ain't about to die for nobody just because a white motherfucker having a bad day or a white motherfucker already assumed that a black person is part of his problems and he want to enact something. If we get a whiff, I'm telling you, man, it's not going to be good for you. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest with you. Black people not scared of white people. I don't know what the fuck they thought that. Once everything start modernizing and we start getting access to shit, those days was over, low-key. So, the only thing that I'm pissed about is that this Austin Metcalf shit is showing black people that white people think that they should be able to do what they want to us. No, fuck you, suck my dick. When you think like that, you gonna die next. I'm telling you gonna be dead next, motherfucker. Bitch ass motherfucker. Suck my dick. That's what you do. And you know what? And I try to dig with myself, man, because this little white kid 17. I try to give it the benefit of the doubt and dig in myself and say, could you have compassion for this dead white child? Then my mind told me, fuck that, because he went and fucked with a black kid. It was many people under that tent. But I almost want to say Karmelo was damn near the only black person under that tent. That probably was flamboyant. Or a star in his own right, too. So he was targeted, bro. Karmelo was targeted. But the only thing about this story this time, a black man defended himself. I ain't even gonna call him a man, because that's unfair. A black teenage boy. To call him a man is to disregard his youth right now. And I'm not gonna do that. Karmelo Anthony, I support Karmelo Anthony because he did nothing wrong. He didn't bother nobody. Hey, Karmelo, if the white kid would have went up to Karmelo and said, hey, I need you to move from this tent. And then Karmelo say, I ain't moving from this tent. Fuck you, I ain't going nowhere. And then Metcalf said, okay. I'm leaving, I'll be back. And then Carmelo would have just took his blade out, stabbed him in the back. That's a different story. But that wasn't the case. Austin Metcalf put his hands on him. And it caused Carmelo to defend himself. It's going to be a part 2 to this. Carmelo is innocent, and he will be found acquitted. He will be acquitted. We out of here. Foundational Black Americans. Keep your eyes open.